Hello everyone. I've been reviewing these lithium-ion batteries, the 3400 milliamp hours, based on the Panasonic NCR 18650Bs. And so far I've done the NCR 18650Bs, the Panasonics, just by themselves. These are the unprotected cells. I've done the, Olight, there we are, and I've done the Nikkor NL 189, and so far they've been pretty good batteries. They've performed up to spec. I've done videos on all of them, so you can go view those. My next one is the Orbtronic 3400 milliamp battery. It's 18650 protected battery, and I believe it's primarily built in Japan. So that's what they say on the battery itself. I'm impressed with the packaging that it came with. It came with a protective plastic case with a lock on the end, which is quite nice. So undo the lock. Hey, we're into the battery. But it's nice to have this little container to protect the battery for storage. So we'll just put that aside there, but pretty nice. One more thing. These batteries, this is in the most as expensive as a Nikkor, same price. The Olight is $15, and I got two of these for $16. So basically, you're paying for the protection circuitry in these batteries because, and quite a bit too. Double the price of these batteries, but they're protected, so you can't over discharge them or overcharge them. So that protects them and makes them last longer. These here, you can take them down to 0 and you can put them up to 6 volts if you want, and that'll fry them forever. But again, this is a protected battery, and packaging is really great. Comes out of the box with the shrink wrap all the way around both poles on the battery, which means that, hey, they care about shorting and they care about it not frying. So there we go. Should do it. There we go. Okay, so there we are. There's the battery. Let me get it into focus. There we go. 3400 milliamp hours. Orbtronic, protected. Again, it says protection circuits made in Japan. 3400 milliamp hour cell made in Japan. Now, I'm suspecting from the language that that means that the battery was actually assembled in China. But I'll have to check on that and put a note in here about that. But right now, this is what we have. Now, the packaging, the shrink wrap looks really professional, really nice. Very, very tight around the top, and no creases or breaks, so like the Nikkor had. This was a really bad wrap job on this one, and you see the little crack there. That's the way it came out of the box. But the Olight, so basically it's got the same type of wrapping that the Olight would have, a really professional wrap, and looks like it's well, let's see what the button looks like. Let's take a look and compare the two. The button doesn't seem to stick out as far as it does on the Olight, but I'm going to measure this out, and tell you all the different specs on that. Alright, here's the dimensions of the battery. I put a piece of tape across the bottom to insulate it, keep it from shorting out from the top of the cell to the bottom, and trust me, this still makes me nervous doing this. Even though it is a protected cell, I know that shorting these batteries is not really a good idea. But anyways, I've got it insulated there. And, 68.86 millimeters. Inches is 2.707, and 2 inches and 2 inches 45 over 64 inches. So that's all the measurements of the length on that. Diameter 18.38 or 0.7230 inches, 93 1/28. So not bad. It looks identical almost to the Olight in diameter, and pretty close to what the Nikkor was. So the other thing too, let's find out how much it weighs. There we go. 47.5 grams. Let's compare that to the night core. 48.2, pretty close. The Olight, 47.6, 47.7, exactly the same. And here's the bare battery without any protection circuitry, 45.8. So, right in there with the weight. Next, I'm going to do a full discharge and full charge to the battery, and then I'm going to test it for capacity, because I've noticed that after the first charge and after the first discharge and charge, they actually hold more the second time you charge them. So they need to basically get seasoned. So I'm going to do that and show you the results. I've charged the Orbtronic, the 3400 milliamp battery, up to its full charge and up to the trigger point. So basically, when the protection circuit kicked in, I finished the charge. So it's got as much charge as it can possibly have in it. So now we're going to discharge it fully. And I know it says nickel cadmium discharge, and it's a lithium ion, but basically what I'm doing is discharging it down to its trigger point. So let's go and do that. Alright, there we go. And I'll back this up a little bit. And let's start on my timer. You see my volts are I started at 4.20, which is perfectly where it should be. And here we go. Okay, as you can see, the connection break, it was 3253, so 3253 milliamp hours. I'll disconnect that now and reset and that is all the way down to the protection circuit cutting it off. That's what the connection break is. That's the protection circuit saying, hey, you can't discharge me any more than that. Let's see if I can get that to okay, well. Now, so that's fully discharged to the bottom. So let's recharge it and recharge it back up and then cause it to break. So that'll be our next step. So, and the voltage was 2.38, so 2.40 around there, about perfect 2.5 volts in the correct zone. Okay, I've reset the battery. It's at 3.2 volts at this point. It's recovered slightly, and I'm going to take it up to try and charge it up to 5.5 volts, which should trigger the overcharge circuitry, and also show us how much total current total charge the battery, the Orbtronic, can hold. So let's go do that. Alright, and there we go. There we are, full recharge from full discharge. We get 3,321 milliamp hours, 259 minutes. I think that's about 4.5 hours. And the voltage is at 4.17 right at this point. So I'm going to, at this point, see if I can overcharge it and trigger the protection circuit. So see if we can overcharge it. Well, there we go. We have a connection break, which is usually an open circuit, so the battery has actually protected itself. And the voltage level that it was at when I reviewed the video or the time lapse, it was 437, so 4.37 volts. So the protection circuit is working exactly as it should. On the under protection circuit is actually working perfectly as well. So I can't say anything bad about this battery. I actually like it quite a bit. It works great. It's more expensive than the Olight here, and basically I don't see any any plus on from the Olight to the Orbtronic here. I mean, unless you like this copper back, that's one thing I didn't show, is the back has a copper plate on it. But other than that, you know, no big difference with the Olight and this one. And yes, the circuits are made in Japan and the battery is made in Japan. Well, with this one here, the circuit is made in with the Olight, the battery is made in the same factory in Japan. It's a Panasonic, and the circuit's probably made in China, but it doesn't matter because it works exactly the same as the Orbtronic and the Nitecore as far as cutting off the circuit when it should. So my review on all three batteries are that they're all good batteries. The best value out there, I think, is the Olight 3400 milliamp hour battery. Like I said, they're all based around the same internal battery, which is the Panasonic NCR 18650B. But you know, if you're not picky about the shrink wrap on the outside and you get a better deal on the Nitecore, go for the Nitecore. But the Orbtronic and the Olight are the nicer of the three batteries, and they all perform equally well, I would say. And you know, I would go with one of these two batteries, depending on which one you get the best deal on. But it's up to you. I'm going to do my Securityne single cell test. I'm going to put the single cell, the Orbitron, in here, and see how long it's going to run on a full charge, which is fully charged right now at full power. And we'll see if whereabouts it cuts off. That's it for my video. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video and it helped you out in some way, do me a favor, click on the like button right down here. And you know, if you wish to subscribe to my channel, just click on this link up here. And that should subscribe you to the Richard Lloyd channel, or Richard Lloyd USA channel. Okay, again, thank you very much for your time and watching.